Halo Kwanzaa back again, and all praises to the Most High Yahweh, and all praises to Yahusha, the one that died for us to have the Ruach Kodesh, and it's quick of the Holy Spirit, the Ruach Kodesh. This video is going to be titled "Chopping It Up with Halo." Learn how to completely trust. Learn how to completely trust. Trust the bad, trust the good, but trust that they both happen in everybody. Remember, in the sight of the Most High, He said that all flesh is evil in the sight of the Most High. And I was shout out to Big Ward Genius. Shout out to you, bro. Like, y'all get a chance. Y'all watch his video about is there anybody that's good? Now, his answer is a little bit different than mine. Ain't nobody out here good. Not one. So, if Yahusha said, because I got a different message, I more so speak on spiritual things. And, I discern the way I see the world through the sight of the Most High Yahweh. So I'm a little bit different when I give my messages. Even though, I still give out, commentary and, down to earth commentary, but it's still geared towards the Most High. Like, my messages are still geared towards how we're supposed to look at everything and discern. And that's only if you read the word. Now, if you don't read the word, if you're not righteous, if you're not elect, and you're not discerning what you read in that Bible, it will get tricky. And, this probably ain't going to be for you. You probably ain't even going to like my answer to about is there anybody good? No, ain't nobody good out here. Everybody is susceptible to fickleness. Is any man of flesh, any man or woman of flesh is suspect to being fickle. A man is supposed to be about his word, but I would never call myself good if the Most High Son, Yahusha, could not call himself good, because he said it in his word. He said, "For why doest thou callest me good? For it is not me that is good, it is my Father that is in heaven, which is good." And so, Yahweh is good. And we have to follow his example. That's why I said, nah, ain't nobody good out here. And then on top of it, we all guilty of poor behavior. We all have bad and good traits. We not all just bad and we not all just good. Everybody is really both. Really. And now you gotta discern how much of each one that a person is and how much you can tolerate from an individual. But nobody out here is good. We all make mistakes. Everybody. Ain't nobody perfect. And as I said, mentioned in Big Ward Genius's comment section, which is, can you trust a man or woman to reform? Can you trust them to repent? Can you trust them to be in repentance? Can you trust them to actually feel shame for what they do incorrectly or feel shame for being wrong? Can you trust that? Now that's one thing that you should ask yourself. Can you trust those things? But short answer to that is you have to decide for yourself. You have to use discernment, and you gotta ask, does this glorify the Most High? Now that's if you following the word. Now if you don't follow the word, you live by the ways of the world. Have at it. I ain't talking to you. Definitely not talking to people that clearly fornicate. And I used to fornicate, like, so I ain't gonna sit here and pretend like I ain't never fornicated. But at the same time, I ain't about to like the Most High Yahuwah. If we fornicate, He considered us not good. He considers us bad, especially if we fornicate with many. Like it's an unsafe practice. It really is, and I didn't know how bad it was, and because I done been out here, and I done learned my lesson. Like I said, and then on top of it, I only deal with one person at a time. I don't deal with all the people out here. But nah, I do believe that a woman can be reformed and repent. I believe that everybody can be trusted completely, though. You have to trust everybody completely, meaning the bad and the good. You can't just trust one side of an individual. That's where you mess up at. Like if you get blindsided by thinking a person all good because they ain't never done nothing wrong, and then you mess around and get blindsided, you know. Especially if especially if you got like this knack for just being around or in a lot of wickedness or iniquities or around a lot of iniquities, you, you better you trust everything to be as bad as you can. You give everybody an opportunity though. Like I ain't gonna say just be so like negative to where you don't open your heart to somebody though. Like that. Like I'm not. That's not what I'm saying at all. People can be trusted. Women and men can be trusted, but you trust the consistency to a certain degree. Like because a person can be consistent with things and then fall short, and that's for males and females. We can trust people in a consistency, but then sometimes they get to falling short. Behavioral patterns might change. They might be challenged in their emotions and feelings. You gotta pay attention to all that stuff. Like I'm giving it to you from a spiritual insight about how you should trust people completely. Trust completely. DMX said this too, and I said it. I said it too, but he said it too, which is, you know, uh, trust who they are, but trust that you see them well. Trust who they are, but trust that you see them well. Like know what you're dealing with when you're dealing with them. Like if you know a person got a habit of doing something, and you can be fair enough to say, hey, you know, uh, you can be fair enough to challenge them, and also be fair enough to discipline them when they upset you. Like don't let it go unchecked. Like if somebody do something that is off, especially a woman or a man, like either one. If y'all doing something that's off that causes another person insecurity, then you're not being good, especially if you're not willing to change. If you're ill malleable, that's men and women, because we're not designed to stay the same in the first place. We're not designed to be just so firm to where we cannot change for the better. Like your life should be a constant reform and redemption and repentance. It should be consistent. That should be consistent. Your character should be consistent. And also it should be expected for people to fall short. That that goes overlooked when people enter into relationships so often. And even if you associate it with reading the word, which this topic is just my discernment on how people are in general and how to trust them completely. And also, when you trust someone completely, male or female, when you trust them completely, it cures trust issues because you trust everything and nothing. Trust everything and nothing at the same time. And that's a good way to balance it out. Trust everything and trust nothing. Trust nothing and trust everything to happen as it is. Everything has bad and good in it until we make it to the tree of life. Seriously. And learning how to trust people completely, that can be a difficult task, especially if they screwed you over, or if they don't, or if they don't, prove themselves unrighteous in your eyes. It takes a lot of forgiveness to give opportunities to people that play with your loyalty, play with your heart. So that's another thing too. Like if a person got a habit that's terrible and went so unchecked for so long, and they just can't help themselves, you gotta let that person go. No matter how much you love them, you might love them to your core, but you gotta cut them off because what happens is once you give them that pass to slide, they'll do it again. Now I ain't saying like completely cut them off if they do it once. It's more so like you always have a mental count about how much you'll take, and also consider their upbringing, their past situations, their insecurities. You got to consider all these things now. Now, if they give themselves to somebody while they're interacting with you, you immediately cut that off. Do not deal with that because it's gonna cause you an issue. Now that I can't say. I can say that's the line they don't cross. If they cross that line, cut them off immediately, male and female, and then allow them to leave. Don't like allow them to go. Cut them off. Let them go. Don't go for it. Like and if they want to continue to try to place themselves in your life or place themselves in your space, you got like give them some distance, especially if they got a wicked heart. Like you don't know what type of wicked heart people got either. So you gotta pay attention to that too. Trust that they'll be wicked if they get a chance to snake you. If they get a chance, like especially if they ain't just wasn't developed. Like if they was raised, and you gotta pay attention because habits, background does matter. There's just things like, cause like I said before, there's people that can be, can be seen bad, but have a good nature, and then there's people that seem good and have a terrible nature, like good character, great personality, but just evil at heart. And then you got a person that might have a brash personality, but he really getting down to the core, having good nature. kind of like Big War Genius. He seems hard and harsh, but and he's reformed, but he got a good nature though. You can just see when somebody got good nature, and then you can see when somebody got a poor nature or poor character. Uh, and that's not to say that like people don't get pushed to the edge either, because like I done seen a lot of stories where people done, especially criminal stories, where you would never think that a man would do something to a woman that he done married and all that stuff. But when that woman try to leave, I done seen that completely good guy never let off the like he was so calm, so you would never expect it, but he snapped on the inside, and his wife didn't know. Like she ended up passed away like 3 days after she made a video. Like she made a video, and then like 3 days later, he perished her. He perished her. Like, and she was making divorce videos, divorce TikTok videos, and then that lady ended up perished like 3 days later. Like talking about like, oh, this is my new season and this and that, and that's why I tell y'all better be careful out here about hurting people's feelings, cause it ain't no joke out here. Trust everything completely. Trust that you'll push somebody over the edge. Trust that. Trust that they might push you over the edge. But also trust that they have a good heart, and they love you too. Like, because just because a person does something bad don't mean that they didn't really love you. It just means that you hurt their feelings and they didn't know how to express it uh, without doing something to you. You feel me? And I ain't saying this, and I'm not saying that I agree with a person doing something to you, but we gotta take it back to the Bible. But before Yahusha came, before he came, what happened to people? What was the law back then? You cheat, if you was to just commit adultery or do anything to null and void a marriage, like a woman wasn't even allowed to leave a marriage unless the man gave her a written slip. So it's just there's different properties that seem to be coming back from the days of Deuteronomy and the days of Solomon. Like there's certain things I see kind of playing out in life, and the only reason we're not allowed to do that stuff is because of the legal system now. Like the legal system, much more different than. But if you was to go to one of these other countries out here, they still carry out the law to the fullest. And like these people out here, they be getting perished left and right. You know, a woman committed adultery, they was put to perish. They was put to, like the Bible said, they was put to death, like because it was a sin, and that's the reason it was a sin to begin with, so you wouldn't get put to death. Like, and it's a lot of things just playing out, and it's unknowingly. It's really unknowing. That's why I said I like Big Word Genius insight on everything. He got a good insight, but also I'm giving you the spiritual side of things. Don't don't find yourself out here fornicating. If because it causes problems. It causes problems that you don't want, and trust people completely. Trust the bad and the good. You can't just trust one side of people. That's where you mess up at. Where you trust somebody's character, like now, if you know you ain't done nothing out of line or done nothing to hurt somebody, then you know they ain't got no reason to do nothing to you. But if you're dealing with somebody that got major insecurity issues, you know you got to be aware of that, and then you got to be aware of how to fix it. Like especially when you're dealing with a woman, your job, whether you know it or not, when you're dealing with a woman, is to fix her, to instruct her. Yes, like that's your responsibility. Just like it's a response, it's actually the responsibility of the woman when she get with a man. If it can be helped, it's her job to fix him. It's still a responsibility. Like it's Yahoo's job to fix the situation, but and I'm talking about if you done already entered the situation. Now, if you're like now, I would say discern before you get into the situation at all. Like that's the safest way. Back, if you see bad character traits and stuff like that, abort mission. Get the get out. Get the f out of there. Get out. Turn away. Run. Like for real. You don't want that problem. But if you don't already entered the situation, and this is even with fornication, even with when you fornicate with somebody, when you fornicate with somebody, you better be look, y'all. If you're fornicating with somebody, be willing to marry a person that you're fornicating with. Otherwise, don't even mess with them like that, because like, what are y'all doing? Y'all wasting time. You don't want to build no families. You don't want to be together. And that's why I said, like, people really made things complicated when it's really not that complicated. Keep it simple. Yes, a relationship is an intentional thing. It's intentional. You're supposed to, like, when you get into a relationship or when you find yourself wanting to be with somebody, be intentional and trust completely. Trust the bad and the good. If you know this person got a ratchet character or got a bad type of character, weigh that stuff out. You don't want to like and don't be in don't be in their face. Don't be in don't be in that woman face if you know you ain't gonna you don't want nothing really to do with her. Don't be in that man face if you know you don't want nothing but his money or him to take care of you. Get out of his face. That man ain't got nothing for you. After that, especially if you know it, and then don't be lying. Because everybody guilty of lying or being misleading. And so and that's what I'm saying, yeah, and I ain't saying that now men we a little more straightforward now, especially when you get older, you gotta be straightforward because it's I don't want none of this problem out here. Big Ward said the same thing, and I agree. I don't want to be out here messing up my peace just to please somebody that don't want to please me or don't or that if I can't if I can't trust you to do a task or if I can't trust you to do what I ask, males and females. If you can't trust a person to do what you ask, get up out of there. Especially if you ain't asking them to do nothing wrong. If you ain't, as long as a person is not asking you to do something wrong, you should do it. Point blank. Period. If it ain't gonna cause you no problem or whatnot, and that's a lot of people' problem too. That they got this selfish spirit, that I be talking about all the time. Stop being selfish out here in these relationships, because that's another thing too. Now I know, when you got it, like that, and you're generous, and you're mature as far as how you handle a relationship goes, uh, it's pretty easy to manage. But also, you don't want to find yourself running off a good thing either. If you find yourself running off somebody good, you gonna regret it. You will regret it. I ain't never experienced that though. Not really. Cause I ain't never ran nobody off. I've always been the one ran off as far as that goes. Like, cause I like, or I had to let it go. It wasn't. It like everything that I ever did was very intentional. It was never. It was never me just being out here trying to jump from like, except for when I was single. Like when I was single and just dating and just having casual, like and fornicating. When I was doing that, I wasn't committed to nobody. So like in my head, that don't count. But like I said before, there is a way in a man's eyes that seem right to himself, but it's foolishness in the sight of the Most High, Yahweh. And it is. It's foolish to think that that was all good to be, you know, uh, calling myself single and messing with different women and all that stuff. That's not good. That still causes a lot of inequity because you don't know what these women got. You don't know if you can. You don't know if they done been to the hospital. Uh, and then on top of it, how often do you go to the hospital? And do you want to always be taking them kind of chances out here? You don't. That's why you trust everybody completely. And nah, nobody out here is good. Like, and trust that. Trust that nobody out here is good, but the Most High. Now, and you'll see people. Now, if people's behavior is good, then yeah, like you know, you can associate with that. If you, but remember, right is right, wrong is wrong, and always discern that way. And like DMX said, uh, and I believe he was on a podcast. I don't know which podcast it was, but you know, uh, trust them. Trust that you see them well. You know, trust that you see them well. Like, and don't so because like he said in that interview, he said it takes too much energy to not trust somebody. So you trust everything completely, and just know, like, trust. You could trust people in certain areas. You ain't got to cut them completely off, but know what area you can trust who in what area. And then, like, if you know that they got like wickedness going on around them, or they participate in a lot of criminal activity or something like that, to stay away from 'em. Point blank, period. Now, and then you got some criminals that turn criminal. So you gotta be careful of that too. These are these people out here that be snapping because their heart got broke. Because most of the criminal activity, 9 times out of 10, is because a person is in a state of desperation, unhappy, rejected, out here struggling, don't know where the next meal coming from, all kinds of stuff. Like, so you gotta empathize and sympathize with this stuff. You can't just cause and yeah, I could consider myself good, but nah, nobody's good. The Most High said it, and that's who I believe over everything. You know, and that's why I said trust the bad and the good. Trust bad, Like if a person that you're interacting with got areas that they're bad in, you know the areas. Trust that you see them well. If the areas that they're good in, trust that you see them well. And then don't be antagonizing. Don't be pushing buttons. Cause that ain't gonna do nothing but make it worse. That's why I say trust everyone completely. Completely. Trust everyone, bad and good. Trust an individual to have bad traits and good traits and work on those things. And if they find you attractive, if they like you, they will change. And vice versa. You don't get in no relationships to stay the same. If you got into a relationship to stay the same way you was before you got in it, you making a mistake. Relationships are a servitude. Friendships are a servitude. Everything is a servitude. It's a give and give. And so when you learn how to be so considerate that everything is a servitude, you'll manage out here. You'll have good relationships, and you'll you know the Most High will look out for you too when you're not practicing iniquity, though. But if you are practicing iniquity, bad spirits come from that fornicating, like but you don't know it. You never know what's gonna happen when you're doing it. So, and then it's getting worse and worse out here. So you got to really be careful when you out here messing around with people, males and females. So, and now this is a little bit more discerning of what the world, how the world is, how I view Big War Genius's message. Shouts out to you, boss. And I told him I'd tag him. I said I'd tag him in my video, so I'm gonna tag him in my video, so he understand that I ain't just taking his content and running with it. I'm gonna send y'all over there to his channel too. But yeah, you know, pay attention out here. Trust people completely. It takes too much energy to not trust them. And no, everybody's not good. Not at all. Nobody's good, especially in the eyes of the Most High. Now, people can practice good behavior. People can practice obedience. You can do that. Practice obedience. But I don't think nobody will ever be completely good, till it's all over with in the first place. Because people are going to fall short. I don't think nobody's not going to fall short. Now, you can do your best out here, and minimize the damage of falling short. You can minimize the damage, but as far as just call it to call yourself completely good, me included, because like I said, nobody's good out here. Even Yahusha said himself, for why doest thou callest me good? For it is me that is not good. No, he said, it is it is me that's not. It's not me that is good, but it is my Father that that is in heaven is good. And that verse stuck with me. So that's a verse that stuck with me for a very long time. Like I grew up with that verse because I said to myself, if he can't call himself good, I know I can't call myself good at all. So that kind of stuck in my heart. So, you know, But pay attention out here. And yeah, to one of my followers that keep trying to break down, or to one of the people that be in my comments, because I don't know if he subscribed to me or not, but if he is, if you watching, bro, you really gotta listen to whole videos. Stop nitpicking and stop trying to pick with me. This ain't that, man. Like I be chilling, and I'm just letting you know I'm not trying to debate you, bro. Like man, like I'm cool, like but I'm not trying to debate you. Like if you feel how you feel, just feel how you feel. But listen to whole videos before you comment on a portion or a clip of the video because like the whole message, like what you typed me, I read that whole thing and then I said, now if he watched that whole video, he wouldn't be saying this. But you watched that whole, but you just watched that clip, and so you said what you said about the clip. But watch everything, and then you'll understand what I mean when I say what I'm saying. Because that was clips of the video. I'm just trying to get people to watch the whole video. Like so, I'm putting clips so people can see the clips and go to the video, or somebody might share the clip, lead somebody to my channel. So you know, oh yeah, and it's still all love. And also, if you made it this far, I love you. I do love you. It's all love. And like the video, comment if you have any questions, and share the video. But yeah, share the video. And it's all love. Like when I make these videos, it's all, it's all an introspection, correction, and, sometimes it's gonna be a tough topic, but we gonna get through it. But this video is dedicated to Big War Genius because that was a very good video. Like I like a lot of his videos, so and I just watch him. Like he got really good insight. But yeah, and shouts out to all the people that subscribe. Shouts out, like I'm thankful for all of y'all. I'm thankful. Thankful for the people that thumbs up the video, like the video, share the video, and actually comment and oh, for logos, NBA, uh, we cool. Uh, I still got love for you too. Keep commenting. I ain't got no bad blood to you. It's all love. Everything love. So I don't want you to take offense. You feel me? Like don't take offense to nothing I'm saying. Don't take it personal. It's all love and correction. But still pay attention though. Pay attention. Like and take it easy out here. Take it easy, chill, and it's all love. I'll create another video later on. I, I don't know. I might. I don't know. Like it's kind of shaky for that one. But yeah, I believe that's it. Oh yeah. My the next video I do, I will be reading out of the Apocrypha. Yeah, I'm gonna read out of the Apocrypha. I got something for you out of there. So check Just check me out.